Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Middara Unintentional Malum Act 1 on Tabletop Simulator. I did go ahead and get the next encounter set up, but we do have some story to go through. Also, I'm going to go ahead and say, since I had the actions to do so, I'm going to go ahead and use like the potion bag during Rook's last two turns, essentially, to go ahead and just transfer stuff into his consumable slots. So that way he has like magic bombs and stuff if he needs them. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into, I believe, Secret Entrance is where we're supposed to be going. Correct, Secret Entrance. Nightingale stumbled along, tired from traveling all day. Slime and dirt coated her from crawling through the tunnels, and her hands were starting to feel unsteady. I've changed my mind on the whole complementary pest control thing, Zeke muttered behind her. That was a severe monster infestation. If they tried to escape in these tunnels, they would have been eaten alive. We should be getting paid for this. They were all crawling, as the most recent stretch had gone from cavern to tunnel. At least there weren't any places for monsters to hide in the cramped space, and so far no more attacks. We can trade the service for information, Nightingale whispered. A pile of dead monsters for one insignificant Theodician mage? It's a steal. The passage twisted around another bend, then came to an abrupt stop. At the end of the tunnel was a large flat stone. Light glowed faintly at its edges. Hey, it's the end. Remy stopped. There was little space in the corridor to get a good look, but no room to move around. Guess we should just push it? Rook nodded. Sideways like this. It's probably right against the floor. Maybe behind something? We'll have to really put our backs into it. Remy twisted sideways, though there wasn't enough room for Rook to go past her completely. They were all about to get quite cozy. Just don't squish my wings. Count of 3, yeah? Zeke said. They all got ready, cramping up against the exit and bracing as best they could. 1, 2, 3. The wall segment wasn't up against something, as Rook had suggested, nor did it grind slowly out. Instead, it offered no resistance at all, shooting them out of the tunnel like a cork from a bottle. The passage opened about 6 feet above the floor, and they landed in a tangled heap, bruised and moaning. Nightingale whimpered, squirming sideways to get out of the pile while nursing her bruised tail. The room looked like a cellar, packed with shelves, crates, and barrels. Long shadows of storage containers stretched in the dim glow of a handful of tiny glowstones. As they regained their bearings, they noticed that they weren't alone. A few feet away from them, a young man had dropped a heavy cask in surprise, then spun around to stare. He wasn't dressed like a servant, but in a fancy coat of black and violet. Red gemstones were woven into the fabric, and his eyes shone the same color. The hell? Nightingale scrambled back, struggling to right herself against the stunning force of her fall. We can explain. Oh, I bet you can. The stranger's deep voice held a cold anger, his words slow and confident. You've come to finish the job. Your blighted wretch could not. He reached up, tugging a pair of faintly glowing pendants from around his neck. You won't leave here alive. Stop him. Rook jerked toward the man, but couldn't free himself from the tangle of his friends. He's calling an Esper. Zeke was up with his weapon drawn, but he couldn't close the distance in time. The man raised his voice to a shout, though he didn't seem to be talking to them. Titus, Quinn, Rivka's son requires your service. Brilliant light flashed, and wind rushed around Rook. By the time he managed to get to his feet again, 2 menacing twin Savani stood at the ready, holding their massive shields high. Continue the boss fight, Damocles 190. Alright, so the man won't listen to your protest. It looks like you'll have to defend yourselves. The Espers he summoned look very dangerous, and the man himself doesn't seem like a pushover either. Win condition, defeat all opponents. So again, these are Espers, but since they spawn at the start of an encounter, they do drop loot. Obviously, being defeated will be the defeat condition. Special encounter rules, Titus and Quinn Savani Guardians. You reveal UM18 and bring them into play. These cards will be used during this encounter when both Titus and Quinn are defeated. Read the following hidden text. We are definitely going to be defeating them. Well, we have to, which is perfect. And then we got Damocles Wrathful Mourner. When setting up this encounter, reveal small and large hitting cards UM18 to access Damocles' initiative and intelligence and all that good stuff. Other than that, there's no other details. Very simple. We're going to be starting in that little square on the right side. But before we start, let's go ahead and talk about the Twin Savani. First, I'm just curious. Looks like they both have the same text. Okay, Cool. So both of these have the same stats, I believe. They have 50 HP, 13 defense, 6 movement, 0 armor, and they roll double greens as their attack die. So you can probably tell that these aren't actually these don't actually belong to Damocles because they don't even have the matching combat dice. They have conviction double teals, no casting die, and they use shields and burst for extra physical damage. United we stand if Damocles is within SOI and would be dealt damage by an opponent. Titus or Quinn, whichever has the least damage, will swap places with Damocles and be dealt that much irreducible damage. So swapping, of course, doesn't provoke attacks opportunity, and it's just kind of like a sort of a teleportation type thing. Phalanx, Titus has resistance magic. While Titus is alive, Damocles will dodge the first attack made against him each turn. And then a bunch of stuff there. And as far as the other one, it's the same stuff. Also will provide a dodge. Another, I don't know if I'm assuming they stack. It provides 2 dodges for Damocles, I guess. It does say for only the first attack, though, so maybe it is limited to 1, but I'm not entirely certain. Okay, let's go ahead and read about their stuff. Savani Guardians. Their father made their legacy as agents of the Great Bounty, and Titus and Quinn were eager to follow in their footsteps. They would gain some experience accepting summons until they were ready to join the Great Bounty themselves. In the meantime, they could take whatever contracts came their way. They accepted every summons that they could, moving from contract to contract. Titus and Quinn wanted to make their fathers proud. To that end, they intended to find someone with the same insatiable ambition for greatness. Defeating common criminals and petty Arcalan thugs were simply not enough. Eventually, this pursuit led them to a request from Rivka. They arrived to a young woman fighting for her life against a pack of Gavadim. They helped her drive off the monsters and were impressed with Rivka's prowess. She was adventuring in the wilds of Elenia alongside a group of close friends. Her expedition was intent on uncovering fortune, founding cities, and defying a neighboring kingdom's rule. It was exciting and incredibly dangerous. Titus and Quinn saw this as a perfect opportunity to offer their long-term services. A contract was signed and a deal was struck. Titus and Quinn were at Rivka's disposal. Over the course of decades, Titus and Quinn served Rivka as Elenia grew into a kingdom. During that time, Rivka's espers became her most trusted allies and closest friends. Together, Titus and Quinn stood by Rivka's side as she struggled with love, politics, leadership, and combat. This personal growth changed the course of their lives, and the two began to forget their aims of joining the Great Bounty. They were happy here on Middara with Rivka. When Rivka was unexpectedly infected with the blight, Titus and Quinn were devastated. With Rivka's impending death on the horizon, there was little more they can do than offer comfort to her husband and son. When it was done, they would have to say farewell to Elenia at last. All right, and then we got Damocles here. So I don't remember exactly when it was changed, but Damocles did get buffed. But I think it may have actually been during 1.1 or 1.1. There was a point where Damocles' HP was 18, which the reasoning will become clear in the future. But it, needless to say, it made him rather fragile. Granted, it kind of makes sense because obviously the real enemies are the Savanis that are guarding him, which can of course soak most of the hits. Because it stops any damage effect. It stops any damage, but of course there's ways to bypass it. So if you just put poison on Damocles, he kind of just dies eventually because he can't really stop the damage from poison. But they fixed him and made him 150 HP now, which is a lot more in line with what a boss should have. So yeah. Anyway, 3 armor, 6 movements, 12 defense. Has a green, red, and empower die for its attack. Has a conviction of double teals, and then special abilities. The first time each turn Damocles deals damage, he heals 2. Anytime so I guess that's essentially he has a ring of blood on. Anytime Damocles is dealt 2 or more damage from a single source, he gains a vow token. When Damocles hits with an attack, he will spend all vow tokens he has. The first time each turn Damocles misses an attack, he will reroll. So essentially, he has Hammer Helm, he has a Ring of Blood, and then he has I can't remember what the other ability is called, but there's a discipline that will give you vow tokens when you take damage. We haven't messed with vow tokens. So what vow does is it's an ability token, it's an ability token that you can get up to 5 of. And you can spend them anytime you deal damage to do +2 of the same type. I think originally it was only for attacks, but now it's for anything. So you can use it for both magic and regular damage if you want to. I do. I generally will make one character a Val build. But I think I guess in the beginning of like the mass chapter 1 and stuff like that, I generally feel like there's not really enough XP for you to actually make a Val build that important. I'll say at least. But it is still useful because you can accumulate 5, which is an extra 10 damage that you can just pop on a boss or something like that. So yeah, that's kind of how it works. And once you get it like fully built, it's really easy to get a lot of Val tokens. And then there's also like support cards that can make it so you give vows to other people. And once that happens, you can actually, it's a really viable support build. It's just in the early game, it just doesn't have enough oomph to like make up for what it's doing. Speaking of disciplines that I've been mentioning, Damocles does have Last Laugh, which is a assemblage discipline. When Damocles, Titus, or Quinn are dealt damage by an opponent, the source of the damage is dealt 2 irreducible damage. When Damocles, Titus, or Quinn are dealt damage equal to their remaining HP, the source of that damage is dealt their 2 best conviction dice worth of magic damage. So that's essentially what Last Laugh does. It's just a way of just doing damage. I think Last Laugh does exhaust though, but in this case, it just triggers no matter what. So yeah, that's the big danger of fighting these guys, is you'll gradually just get worn down by your own attacks type situation. So things like poison do hit a lot harder, because poison, of course, doesn't actually have a source. Anyway, besides that, there's some AI steps which we'll deal with in the future. Let's go ahead and read the back. Wrathful Mourner. Damocles crept warily down the stairs to the cellar. He hadn't felt safe in the manor since the attack. His mother's screams still echoed in his ears, and his nose still burned with the acidic tang the Blighted Guardian had left on the air. His joints ached, and there were bags under his eyes. He could endure only so much. Damocles knew it couldn't be an accident that the beast got inside. Someone was trying to do his family harm, but who? While every leader was bound to have enemies, the Hyde family was adored by the population of the little town they ruled. It made no sense. Damocles scanned the cellar shelves until he found the cask he was looking for. It was a good brandy, not too rare, but with a wonderful flavor. This would help the household relax. He knew that he needed to stay sharp in case of another incident, but that didn't mean the rest of the estate couldn't relieve the tension. He hefted the small cask under his arm and turned to leave when he heard a noise from behind him. He reacted immediately, dropping the brandy and spinning to face the threat. 4 people lay sprawled on the floor. Damocles was stunned. 4 strangers in his basement? There was no way that it was coincidence that thieves would break in soon after the Blighted Guardian. They must have had something to do with the attack, and he was going to make them pay. A smoldering rage welled up inside Damocles' chest. His knuckles were white as he balled his fists so tightly that they shook. He would take them alive and get to the bottom of his mother's attacker. Before that, though, they would suffer. And in the moment it took for him to assess the situation, he had already decided the stranger's fate. He drew his weapon and called upon his mother's espers, prepared for a fight. Okie dokie. So we'll go ahead and add these guys. And we do need to go ahead and get set up. So let's go ahead and do that now. We, of course, have DM and FemQ from the previous encounter. So we're going to go ahead and put Nightingale here. Yep, we'll put Nightingale there. We'll put you here. We'll put you there. We'll put Rook here, and then the espers have to be adjacent. It's a little hard to see from here, but let's see. There we go. Facing the right direction. Okay, we have everyone on the board. No other special rules are here, so we'll go ahead and shuffle and begin. And this should have been thrown away last time. Okay, Titus will be going first. Since this can be triggered at any time, I'm going to go ahead and do it now. I'm going to go ahead and pop a Doom Break on both these characters. Roll black. Good. Roll black. Good. Alright, stamina for both of them. Okay, so starting with Titus. Is there an opponent adjacent? No. Can he move and attack an opponent within range 6? Yes. Which is unfortunate because I think my range is exactly 6. It is, so I won't be able to do an Overwatch shot with this. So move to be within range 6 of the nearest opponent, and then make 2 range 6 attacks against different opponents, prioritizing the 2 nearest opponents. If one of these attacks hit, the target may not make a move action during their turn. So 1, 2, 3. That puts you 1, 2, 3. Yep, this will put you within 6 range. Okay, so Titus moves up, and it's going to go ahead and take a shot at Remy and Femke because they're highest up on the initiative. So we'll go ahead and shoot at Remy first. Remy will go ahead and spend a stamina to dodge. I will go ahead and pop Gauge because, as always, I will always pop it on the first dodge. And we'll see what happens. Boop. Alright. That's a 1, so it gets us up to 12 at least. So we'll see how that goes. We need to borrow some... Okay, we actually have dice for this. Okay. So we'll go ahead and roll for Remy here. That is 13. I can go ahead and pop the nightgown to re-roll the 8. Or not. Okay. 13 against 12, so 1 base, and then 2, 3. I'll do 3 damage. Okay. Next, it'll be shooting at Femke. Femke has Nimble Dodge, and this attack will be at -1. Let's make sure we have line of sight. I'm pretty sure we do. Yep. All right. Go ahead and roll this. Boop. All right. So Rook has 11 defense. Friends with Benefits brings it up to 12, and then this will bring it up to 14. Okay, so 14. Attack misses. Oh, also, Remy won't be able to move this round, which is a little unfortunate. All right. After an opponent within SOI. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So that'll be it for Titus. We'll go to Diem. All right. These guys do not dodge, so we got that going for us. And it does what? Irreducible back? Yeah, irreducible. Okay. So yeah, Diem will get... well, she starts at 2 stamina. We'll go ahead and spend 1 stamina to move. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4... let's see, 1, 2, 3. See where you can move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't do anything there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe? No line of sight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to there. Alright. Goes to Rook. Alright, let's get some work done. We'll go ahead and just considering some options here. Well, let's go ahead and do Banish Knowledge. Let's put this on Nightingale. Actually, we'll put it on Remy. Actually, it doesn't matter. Remy can't move. We'll put it on Nightingale. Anyone need a intervention token right now? No. We'll spend a stamina to move. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At the very least, we can be a target for these things. Actually, yeah, we'll just put you in front of Remy. That'll be the best decision. That way you'll be a target. So Remy can eventually move. Because in this tightly packed location, Remy will be flanking like almost all the time. Alright, besides that, I don't think there's really anything else we can mess around with, unfortunately. None that I care to, anyway. So we'll go ahead and go to Remy, who unfortunately is just going to hang out. I could have done an intervention to try to re-roll my dodge, but I think I would have to do that before the roll came. So yeah, Remy will just have to pass. I could actually... I'll do 2 re-equips. And I'll roll the Doom Break again to get his stamina back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swap in the juice box and drink it. This will heal 3 + 1 per loot level beyond mundane. We're at uncommon, so we'll heal for 5. I'm a little concerned about the last laugh, and then I'll just put my consumables as normal. All right, that'll be it for Remy then. Goes to Zeke. Zeke will give haste to Rook. Actually, he'll give haste to Femke. I'm just trying to think of who will... I need people that can hit hard with every attack. So you know what? We'll give it to Remy. Figure with it, and otherwise inflicted with a poison. Or I can choose to not do that at all. And we could do something pretty silly. But I think I'm going to have to wait until these guys get closer. Do you even do anything? Move towards the nearest ally adjacent to an opponent. If there are no, move towards the nearest opponent instead. Okay, so they're going to gradually come towards us. I think the plan is we'll try to get some... I think we should get poison on all of them. And then try to let the poison kill them. That'll make it so we don't get hit with last laugh as much. And also, I can also use this sickling here to also inflict poison. So yeah, I think for right now, we'll go ahead and just get haste up. We'll put it on Remy. And honestly, I'm actually kind of okay with just holding position here. As much as I would love to do... I guess he's the one of the few people that can actually self-heal, so it's not the end of the world. We could spend a stamina to go ahead and move up. But I'm actually kind of okay with Nightingale being where she's at. So you know what? We'll just stay here. We can just wait a little bit. Gotta let these guys get closer so I can actually hit people with Low and Paladin. Okay, so that is it for Zeke. Goes to Quinn. So Quinn should not be able to get anywhere. I did count the steps earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the best movement he can do, and that's with a jump. Yeah, can't do anything with that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so he can actually attack Rook now. So that works. Okay, so he's going to move up and attack Rook. This attack will be at -1. You guys' stands are a little big. Okay, so this attack will be at -1. I'll go ahead and pop a... I can either pop a stamina or do Lonely Mountain. Let's pop a let's go ahead and just pop Lonely Mountain for now and roll a black. Nothing. That's pretty on par for me. 12 -1 is 11, so that does hit. It's going to do a whopping 0 damage, I think. Yeah, I have 11 defense. And he's shooting through an opponent, or an ally, so -1. The shields bring it up to 2, and I have 4 armor. So it does 0, but it does make it so I can't move for the next round. We can keep track of this with like energy tokens, I suppose. Or eyeballs. We'll put eyeballs out. So we already took care of Remy's, so you have the eyeball for now. Yeah, during their next turn. Okay. After that... Yeah, that's it for that. Okay, goes to Femke next. So Femke has 2 stamina. We'll spend 1 to move. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna kind of have to wait until these guys get a little bit closer. All right, goes to Damocles. So Damocles can move and attack an opponent within reach 2. The answer is no. Otherwise, move towards the nearest ally adjacent to an opponent. If there are no allies adjacent to opponents, move towards the nearest opponent instead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, actually, this will be 7. So yeah, it's going to be this way. We'll go all the way to here. And they have 6 movement. All right, goes to Nightingale. All right. Start. I have haste, so I do get 1 stamina. And then let's see how much damage we can do to a unarmored target, shall we? So we'll do Precise Strike. We will empower it. And we're going to target Titus. And we're not moving, so we'll have +1 to this. So +1 to this and going all out. Here goes nothing. Holy cow, that's a number. All right, so we're up to 18 versus 13. I'm just making sure they don't. Yeah, there's nothing that says they dodge. All their stuff revolves around protecting Damocles. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, 19 versus 13. This is precise shot, and I have morbid leather. So 19 versus 13 is 6, plus 2 is 8, plus 5 is 13. We're at 13 right now. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 26, 29, 32. That is 32 damage in 1 shot. And then I'm going to end up taking 2 irreducible damage, and then I'll use Ring of Blood to heal it. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and pop Doom Break now to get back the stamina I just used. Good to go. And then I'm going to spend 2 stamina to do a quick blow off of this and empower it. So again, another shot at +1. Okay, 16 versus 13, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that puts him at 46. Could I make that go any higher? I can masterwork and get another point out of it. But that's about it. So we'll take another 2 damage. And it's all... Okay, and then the last part where it does the conviction is magic damage. So I can actually... The way this is worded, does it trigger both of these? That's the thing that's kind of weird about it. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and make a final shot. I just need to do 4 damage. So I'll spend 2 stamina to fire. And again, at +1 on Titus. I'll re-roll the 5. So I'm at 14 versus 13, so it'll be 1, 2, 3. I can do masterwork for this, so this will be 15 versus 13, so 2, and then 4 for morbid leather, which will definitely guarantee kill. So I'll take care of Titus. The way it's worded is when are dealt damage by an opponent, the source of the damage takes 2 irreducible damage. I'll just assume I'm taking that on top of the other thing. So next I need to roll Conviction. So I'll roll a red and a purple. I take 5, which is going to get halved down to 2. And Titus is off the board. I do get loot for this. Item loot. We roll 2 whites. A 9. 9 is a relic. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this and hit one, take whatever's on top. We get Sylvia's special herb back. Spend 2 exhaust, spend 2 stamina, remove an effect from an ally with an SOI. So, very good support item. Unfortunately, I don't have space for it, so I'm going to go ahead and put it away. That is the wrong place. Put it over there. Alright. Next, I'm going to go ahead and drink a Vitality Juice Box and recover 5. Since these things are going to probably end up being discarded anyway at some point. May as well use them before you lose them. And, yeah, we're looking pretty good right now. I'm not going to use the infection for now. And honestly, I think I'm okay with what we have right now. I mean, eventually Damocles is going to come say hi to us, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, killing within 3 shots is definitely not a bad thing. Maybe we won't need the poison stuff after all. I mean, even if we end up getting killed by the last laugh, I mean, it's probably fine. Okay, so that was Titus that was removed. Bye-bye, Titus. Okay, we have Quinn next. He is within range 6 of the nearest opponent. Range 6. Nearest opponent is, let's see, 1, 2, 3. This is obviously 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you go... Be within range 6. Let me take a look at the text for that. I guess, I mean, it's going to be closest opponent, which is going to be Femke. So it's going to have to be like something like this, I think. But I'm going to go ahead and verify within and the other thing again. Let's see, within is 62. I do appreciate that they have this in the index. Up to and within. If until then the combatant will use the action available without considering the maximum ranges or value. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. So it's going to be like this. This puts them like this, and then it's going to make a ranged attack against 2 targets, prioritizing the nearest 2 opponents. So it's going to be Femke and Rook. It's going to go ahead and shoot at Rook first. Rook can't move anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and let this thing hit him. So go ahead and take your shot. 11's exactly a hit. It does 0 damage. Okay, then it's going to go ahead and shoot at Femke. Nothing. Alright, well, have fun with that, I guess. This attack will be at -1 because of the hindering terrain. And with dice like that, holy cow. So it's going to do a lot of damage to Femke, and in turn do a lot of damage to Rook. Yeah, even if I had tried to re-roll the dodge, this is going to hurt. 17 versus 12. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 13. It'll do 13 damage to Femke, which will take her out anyway. So there's no point in even having her tank the damage. Like, the only way I would be able to keep her alive is by popping summon tokens. So we'll go ahead and remove Femke from the board. Alright, which unfortunately means DM loses a lot of our passive abilities, but that's okay. Alright, so it made its 2 shots, and nothing else. Alright. Oh, I did forget one thing. As it was moving up, I'll have Nightingale do Overwatch Shot. So we'll go ahead and make an Overwatch Shot. This is going to be empowered. And we'll see if we can make stuff happen here. Alright. Alright, 16, 17 versus 13. So 4 plus 2 for Morbid Leather is 6. Yeah, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, I did make a mistake. I apologize. They have resistance magic, which means the magic part of my damage should be halved. I still definitely killed Titus. I would have done... I did 2 less damage, essentially, which I still would have made up with the extra damage from the Morbid Leather. So yeah, I should have done 2 less damage because I did 4 magic damage on both attacks. Actually, sorry, I would have done 4 less damage. So give me a moment. Okay, so I would have been a couple of damage short. Honestly, I would have probably done an Empowered, but I'm going to go ahead and what I'll do is, just so I can make it legit, I'll just do freaking Ambitious right now. On the previous round, and then use that stamina for one more shot. And hopefully that gets killed, else I'm going to have to do a lot of reroll nonsense. Okay, that would finish it off. I would have taken 2 extra irreducible damage. Okay, that solves the issue with Titus. Okay. Now give me one more moment. Okay, so I'm back. I got the original Overwatch shot rolled back to where it was. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. I completely forgot about the resistance to magic damage. Okay, so with that, we're at 16, 17 versus 13, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then 16 from the burst. So 16 damage. That was, I already have the magic damage, so we're good on that front. I will take 2 irreducible as a result. And we already made the attack, so we're good to go. Alright, Ghost of Nightingale's turn. Yeah, my apologies. I definitely messed it up there. Like I said, if I had realized it, I would have done an Empowered final shot. And that probably would have been enough to get the last few points of damage. Because I was like off by 2. I was essentially off by about 2 damage. But it was just easier to just do the Ambitious and just shoot a normal shot. Because unfortunately I'm out of range for Murder Circus. Speaking of Murder Circus, let's go ahead and pop a Architect to move 1 step. And then we're going to go ahead and do a Murder Circus. Alright, all dice to a single target counts as a single dice source, so I can roll all of these and then do Intervention. 6, 12, 19 damage, putting it at 35. I'm going to take 2 irreducible damage, but I'll also heal for 2 from Ring of Blood to even that out. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a Precise Strike and shoot. Oh yeah, sorry, I need to get like stamina. It's her turn, so she gets 4 stamina because of haste. I'm going to go ahead and do Precise Strike. I am going to empower it, and we'll see if we can make things happen. Alright, 15, 16. And I'll do 17 with Masterwork. So I'm right now at 17. So yeah, I didn't take a move action. I only moved with the Architect, so I do still get the +1 from Cave Bow. So yeah, 15, 16, 17. 17 to 13 is 4, 5, 6, 11. Actually, do I even need that? I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, actually, I'll take back the Masterwork for right now. So that'll put us at 16 versus 13, so we're at 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 16. Yeah, that's enough to kill. Alright, so we'll take 2 irreducible damage, and then we have to roll Conviction and take magic damage again. This time it was a bit more. I take 4. But I do take him out, because I did 16 damage. But yeah, if I had done the Masterwork, I would have done also another another 6 damage essentially. But yeah, with the barbed arrows, these guys don't have armor, so it works out. This thing's not returning. We'll just do that then. All right. So I think the only thing that's left is monster loot, which is going to be a dead card, unfortunately. 8 gold. Also, how much was that pouch worth? Because, you know, I love driving this home. 96 gold. Yep. We've made so much from these 2 encounters. Like I said, my solution would be just not to have that skill check and just make people do the encounters, because, one, it gives you a lot, and it's also just more game to play. Anyway, Quinn's gone, so that means it's just Damocles. So he no longer has his free anytime Damocles won't have the free dodges anymore, so it's just him by himself. And I'm just checking to see if he's supposed to get vow tokens. No, only when he gets hit. All right. So that's it. So it's still Nightingale's turn. I don't have line of sight for Damocles, so we'll probably leave that alone. I think I'm good with just going as is, I think. Because future hits against Damocles, I'm just going to be able to... You know what? We'll play it safe. We'll do a re-equip and drink this Vitality Juice box for 5. I mean, if I really want to, I could just summon Psych and just have her do passive healing, but I don't think I really want to deal with that right now. So that's it for Nightingale. Goes to Remy. Remy can actually move again, so that's good. Should we see how well she does against Damocles? I think I kind of want to wait until Damocles gets closer. I don't want to fight him on hindering terrain. His attacks hit really hard, by the way. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait until Damocles gets closer, because we're probably gonna need to just gang up on him and destroy him. All right. Yeah, I'll pass turn for Remy, and we'll go to Zeke. Zeke will go to full stamina. He'll go ahead and I could move him up to do some work. Actually, that might be a good idea. I'll spend a stamina to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That should give me line of sight. One, 2, 3, 4. Oh, actually, yeah. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So I'm 7 here, which will cost another stamina. But I have line of sight here. So I'll go ahead and pop Exalted Summoning. And we'll do Minos the Contractor. Or not Minos, we'll do Loam Paladin. Roll black die, and every book we can make stuff happen. I really just need 2. I got 2. We're going to inflict Wilt and Darkness. And then I'll spend 2 stamina to exhaust Domesticated Royal Sickling. We'll roll black for that as well. Good to go. This just flat out inflicts poison with no save. So he's now wilted, darkness, and poison for maximum punishment. He's not immune to Condemn, by the way, but I'm not going to play that game. And then for my last stamina, let's go ahead and get haste onto rook. All right. That should help a little bit. Okay, that is it for Zeke. Goes to rook. Can't move this round, but luckily this will be the last time we have to deal with that. I think it may be time to go ahead and tag out the twins entirely. The damage is just going to be too low, I think, and I'm just going to be taking double dipping on last laugh damage. So I'm going to go ahead and trade them out. These will go away. I'll put these back where they belong. And I'm going to summon Elifie instead. This will get us 2 more summon tokens. And I'm also going to go ahead and give it intervention and haste. I need 1 more summon token. There we go. And then give you haste. Okay. I cannot move, so that's going to be it. Because Damocles is too far away. Oh, we need to add Elifie to the batch. Okay, that fixed itself. All right, Elifie. All right, Elifie's going to gain a stamina from haste. She'll go ahead and give barrier to rook. Actually, I have room for his stuff now. And then, not that concerned about dodge tokens. Oh, I need to add the. Oh, I actually need to, spawn the figure, of course. Elifie, there you are. It's gonna have to be like right here for now. All right. Actually, I don't have line of sight there. I'll have to be. We'll go. Can we do this? Yes, we can. We can put her down there. Okie dokie. Okay, that's fine. Does mean I'm not going to be doing anything with Zeke, but that's okay. All right. I'll spend a stamina to move. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to here. Is that within line of sight? It is. So it cost me another stamina, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and do Gore Shot. It's just going to be a teal die, and I'm not going to empower. Alright, it's 13. Alright, fails. I will take the extra 2 damage. So this will do 8 damage in total, plus Wilt is 10. He's going to get a Vow token. And Elifie will take 2 damage in return, and so will Rook. Yeah, unfortunately, the 2 damage part is irreducible, so we can't do anything about that. Alright, goes to Damocles. Damocles gets to swing at an opponent. I'm okay with Zeke getting hit at this point. Yeah, Zeke can just get hit. There's not really much I can do about it either. So yeah. Oh, actually, first, most important part, poison damage. This damage won't cause any last laugh stuff. But as you can see, it's not going to be something we can rely on. So 1 damage. Okay, Damocles is going to swing. I could flip the cat suit, in which case it'll go after Elifie. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll flip the cat suit so Zeke can't be targeted. And then Elifie will do a nimble dodge, and we'll see if we can make something happen here. I'll reroll with an intervention. That's better. So that's +5. I have +1 from Friends with Benefits, so 17. Came close, but Skull also makes it miss. Move to be reach 2. Make 2 separate attacks against an opponent within reach 2. These attacks deal magic damage instead of physical. Okay. Okay, so first attack misses, and then the second attack comes. I'm going to have to spin the stamina to dodge, and there'll be no +1 for this one. I think. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've dealt with multiple dodges for nimbles. Only for that dodge. Okay, so no bonuses for this one. So 13 defense. Good luck. It misses. Also, Darkness does -1 attack. So, yeah, I didn't realize he attacked twice. Okay. Oh, also, all of his attacks do magic damage instead of physical. The more you know. Okay, so that takes care of all of that. New round. Okay. All right. Goes to Nightingale. Nightingale will go to full stamina. And we need to get some moving done. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then use the Architect to move a space up this way. This guy doesn't counter or dodge, so that's fine. And as far as I know, he only has Reach 2. He doesn't have Provoke 2. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and have Nightingale do a Precise Strike and empower it. And we'll see if we can make some things happen here. Hello. Alright, so I have moved, so it's just going to be 17 versus 12, so I'm at 5. It's going to go up to 7 with Morbid Leather, 12 with Precise Strike, so we're at 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24. So look, 26 with Wilt. So, sorry, I'm trying to do all the math here. Sorry, let me redo that. So one thing to note is the reason why I moved Elifie here is to put Damocles with an SOI, so his armor is only 1. I still can't use the arrows, but I can at least not have to worry about as much damage being reduced. So I am... Oh, also one thing to note, the Cave Bow's special ability is any attack made against an opponent with an SOI that occupies hindering terrain, I ignore the effects of that space. So I don't have the -1 for the hindering here because I get to negate that space. This effect tends to not be triggered that much because hindering terrain tends to be in clumps, and it only prevents the tile they're standing on and not the ones you're shooting through. But in this case, it's helping. So back to where we were. 17 versus 12. So 5, 7, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24. Wilt brings up the 26. Armor brings it down to 25. So we do 25 damage, putting this at 36. And then I will take 2 damage and then Ring of Blood it. And then he gains 1 Vow token. Then I'm going to go ahead and Doombreak for stamina. Alright. I'll let it flip. I'll go ahead and also, since I did hit, I'm going to go ahead and do an empowered quick blow. And here we go again. Not great. I'm going to go ahead and use the intervention to reroll all of it. I'll reroll the 4 on the red there. Okay, 17 against 12 again. So 5 base, 7 for more leather. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19. 21 from Wilt, and then 20 in total. I take 2 irreducible. And I think that's going to be it for right now. I could do an account. I think I'm going to. Actually, I'll do 1 more point of damage with Masterwork, putting it at 57. Okay. Oh, also his attacks can inflict condemned. The more you know. All right, that is it for Nightingale. She pretty much reduced Damocles down to down by a third almost by himself. Elfie helped a little though. Goes to Remy. Remy's at maximum stamina because she's been stuck and waiting. So we're gonna go ahead and do a flight. We have 8 movement, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll go 9, 10 to here. So it'll cost another stamina. We'll go ahead and do a Doom Break. Good to go. All right. And now we're going to get to work here. We're going to start with False Idol. This is where I'm going to end up shredding myself, by the way. But with Remy, we at least bypass all of his armor, so we don't need to worry about any of that. So we just need to hit as hard as we can. And we get backstab because we're flanking off the boxes. We're going to do just regular False Idol for now. So the attack is going to be at -1 because of the hindering terrain. Okay, I'll reroll the 4 just to maximize that damage. That's better. So -1 to this is 15, so 14. I hit by 2. So we're at 2. Backstab brings up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, and 13 for Wilt. Also, I forgot to give Vow tokens earlier, so there was 1 from the second shot from Nightingale, and then 1 from this. I do take 2 irreducible, which I'll use Ring of Blood to soak. Then I'm going to go ahead and do a Blade Works. This attack will be at +0, +1 for flanking, -1 from the hindering. I do hit. It's going to do 5 damage. 5 damage it is. This will get him his last Vow token. Whoever gets hit is going to get hit really, really hard. Alright, so and I already took the 2 irreducible, so we're good on that front. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 to do Onslaught. And we'll just make the attack as normal for right now. I'll re-roll with intervention. I'll re-roll with the Bottle Blessing. Re-roll any dice you just rolled. Actually, I can make it hit. It just won't be very pretty. Yeah, I'll just make it hit. I'll save me an item. But it's not going to be a good trade. So we're at 10, 11, 12. I hit. I'll do 4 damage. Or sorry, 6 damage. I think I forgot the Wilt from the previous attack. 1 second. I did forget the wilt damage from the Blade Works attack, so I'll add it now. Either way, I do take 2 irreducible. My follow-up does happen, though, because I did hit. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and tap Bone Chipper. We'll have +3 to this attack. I do hit. The damage is pathetic, though. It's going to be 11 plus 3 is 14, so 2, 3, 6, 8. Told you Remy's going to kind of kill herself here. Alright, so that was our second swing on Onslaught. We got one more. No modifiers. 13 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 6, 8 damage. Yeah, that wilt's helping out a lot. Take another 2 irreducible. At this point, I am going to go ahead and do Murder Circus, and we'll just see if we do anything with this. Armor Piercing does matter in this one, so this does count as one source, thankfully. So this will do, which I think I've been making a mistake on with some of the previous encounters, where I've been doing each of these individually. So 8, 13, I'll do 12 damage. So it should be 111. It still triggers this thing though, so I do take 2 damage. Nearly killed myself with irreducible damage. Alright, that is it for Remy. Goes to Elifie. Elifie will get 4 stamina for haste. Barrier's not going to help here. All I can do is give some dodge tokens, which I will do. I will spend 2 to give a dodge token. Actually, I'll spend 4 to give a dodge token to Remy. 2 of them, because she needs both. Because she might not live. I mean, no one's going to live through this. Like, whoever gets hit is going to be taking a minimum extra, like, 14 damage when it happens. So, I will go ahead and do Gore Shot, though. No Empower. 14. Alright, fails. I will go ahead and take the irreducible damage, and then, of course, take the other irreducible damage, so we'll Rook. So the total will be 8 damage, 10, up to 10 because of Wilt. So we're at 121. Yeah. Just overwhelming him seems to be working rather well. Let's see how that plays out for Damocles, though. So, Damocles, he's first going to take poison damage. He took 6. Alright. So, he is... he's already in range of the nearest opponent. He's going to target... He just targets an opponent within reach 2. So it's actually going to target Nightingale, because Nightingale's higher on initiative. I am going to spend 1 stamina to dodge. I will re-roll with Morbid... Oh, I can't do it with Morbid Leather. I will just take it, I guess. Alright, here comes everything. Well, first I have to see if he hits. He's at -2 because of darkness and attacking into hindering. He misses anyway. Perfect. I could counter with this, but I'm not going to. Instead, he's going to attack a second time. I'll spend a stamina to dodge. I'll re-roll with Morbid Leather. Alright, I'm up to 14 defense. And he... Oh my god. I've never seen a boss with Empower roll this poorly before. So never mind, we're good. That is it for Damocles. Alright, Zeke. You'll get 3 stamina. And, should we try, like, paralyzing with Earth Loa? Technically, we don't I don't think we have, I don't think this counts as flanking, unfortunately. You have to be directly across. So I can either try doing a condemned with my hit, or I can just go Earthlow a punch. Let's just do an empowered hit. And we'll see where that puts us. Apparently there. I'll re-roll with intervention. I'll re-roll the 4 and 4. There we go. 16 minus 1 is 15, so I hit by 3. So we're at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. Back down to 10 for armor. He'll take 2 irreducible. I hit by 3, so he gets to do a condemned conviction check against condemned. He does pass just barely because I only hit by 3. I will use Tristram Spirit for an additional 3 damage. Yeah, I'll do an extra 3 damage. I think this is treated as a follow-up, so it's a separate source. So I will take 2 more damage for that. Alright. I'm then going to go ahead and just start throwing knives. We have... Oh, no, okay, yeah, we've been doing it correctly, never mind. Yeah, these are each separate dice. We'll roll 3 purples, and they will be reduced by 1 each because of armor. So 0, 5, and 6. Total of 11, which will take out Damocles. Technically, Zeke's going to take another 4 irreducible, and then he's going to take a white and purple in magic damage. He takes 8. Alright, that is a clean fight. Oh, also, I completely forgot to read the hidden text for defeating the twins. Gain the Sloan Great Wall uncommon weapon. If available, if unavailable, gain a random one-handed uncommon weapon instead. So yeah, this gets you a shield, and it's definitely an upgrade. Gets you a medium shield that's worth 90 gold, and it finesses into green. So this is essentially a flat upgrade for Rook. You can also exhaust it to increase your armor until end of turn. So with this, you can, with the help of Elify, Lonely Mountain, and this, he can get himself up to 7 armor and hit for 14 with his Courage Stifles. It was Nightingale who got the kill technically, so we could just put it in her stash for now. Anyway, Damocles was taken out, so we don't need to worry about him. So we need to draw a loot card for him, and I believe we'll be done. Monster loot. Let me check what happens with that. I think it's a dead card, but it may let us redraw. We'll see. Some combatants have multiple or not useful as items. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. If an adventurer cannot draw a monster loot card, item card for the opponent they defeated, they shuffle the monster loot card back to the combatant loot deck and redraw. Okay, I do appreciate that it gets reshuffled back in. Unless it's the last one. Got it. Okay, so for the sake of... I'll go ahead and put it back in here, shuffle it, and then do a draw. We get 10 gold. Putting us at 266. Yeah, we're in good shape. This will get us ready for the next batch of encounters, no doubt. All right, so that is all for that. Okay, we'll restore all adventurers and gain 1 experience, putting us at 28. And that means Zeke has access to his final assemblage ability. All right, we'll go to We're Not Here to Fight next time. So, Yeah, it's a fun fight. You can definitely get caught off guard. We had a real. There's no denying that we had a really strong start. Nightingale rolled nearly max damage multiple times. She successfully triggered precise strike like four times. And obviously hitting hard made it so we needed less attacks to actually do the job. Also, since it was magic damage with that final big hit from last laugh, Nightingale was able to tank it. I did pop items though, so any encounter where I pop items is definitely one that is worth noticing. If I hadn't, Nightingale would have fallen. Yeah, no question she would have fallen. If she had gotten hit by Damocles, it probably I mean, while she probably had the best chance of surviving, most likely it would have done what four like the Val tokens in his little special ability there would have done 7 magic damage by itself, and then take into account all of his symbols and attack roll itself. And she was at 9 HP. She was at 11 HP left at the time. But yeah, I'm really glad we did this encounter because I wanted to get slow in the Great Wall. It's a free upgrade for Rook. It's not only great for Rook for his spell casting, it's great for all of his summons because all of his summons now will be rolling 2 greens. I mean, it's so good that I may even consider putting an upgrade on it and kind of going from there. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. When we come back, we'll do the story bits and see where that leaves us. I am The Depressed Hero. This was Middara, Unintentional Malum Act 1 on Tabletop Simulator. I'll see you guys later.